gonna give me a whole lot of thumbs down because you know I'm telling the truth. So you're gonna thumb it down because you're gonna try to pacify your emotions. You know I'm telling you the truth. You know you got hatred. It's there. I don't hate him. I'm just pointing out he's the white man. Look, what's the reason for pointing out he's a white man? What's the reason why you want to know who Esau is? Why? Why? What's it gonna do for you? Is it gonna bring you salvation and know who Esau is? You got venge in your heart. That's what it is. You want to take matters into your own hands and not depend on the Most High. I like pointing that finger in 3D. Let me get back. All right, now. I'm having fun with this 3D camera. All right, now let's get back. He says, in wrath and in torment and in indignation. Indignation. Now, let's look at this word torment because I'm trying to go into Obadiah chapter 1. Well, I'm going to get to that, but let me deal with it because this is so good, right? This is good right now. I didn't even expect to get all this out. Okay, now he says in torment, okay? So he said that those that continue in this hatred, continue to not be righteous towards his brother is going to be overwhelmed by all these wicked spirits that's going to take over, right? Okay, now let's go to torment rather. He said wrath and torment. Okay, now I said, brother, get on with the lesson. I know what torment means. Well, you just sit down and shut up. How about that? You watching the video, just sit down and shut up and listen. Learn something for a change. I said, brother, you smart. Well, you watching me, I'm not watching you. So obviously, it must be penetrating. You trying to find something to put a plug in so you can get me, right? See, he don't know what you're talking about. You looking, so you're pulling and pulling and pulling. I'm gonna rewrite out the book. I'm not going anywhere else and read out the dictionary and let you argue with that. Now, torment, okay? Torment, okay? Torment means to, I got torrent, not torrent, I need torment. Okay, torment. It says a great physical pain and mental anguish, a source of harassment, annoyance. It says the torture inflicted on prisoners under interrogation. So, when you guys get out there on YouTube and you find a so-called white person who you call Esau and you got them down kissing your feet, bowing to you and all of that, that's what he's talking about. You want to interrogate people who you think is Esau. It makes you feel good. Yes, it does. Now, let's get back to and in indignation. So we got another word. I can't get past these words. I'm gonna get back into reading, but man, this is juicy here, boy. This is real juicy. This is telling you why you got hatred and evil and all of that, right? Now, indignation. All right. Okay, indignation. Now, indignation means to do what? Anger aroused by something unjust, mean, or unworthy, right? Something aroused by, it says anger, something that's aroused by unjust. So you feel like that the white man have done you unjust, so that indignation have arisen in you. And that's why every video you got, white man can't be saved. I'm gonna kiss my feet. You're angry because you feel like that, you were done unjust. Which is, in fact was true in this captivity, the transatlantic slave trade was one of the worst events that ever happened in history, because all the other slaveries don't even compare to that. I mean, our children were sacrificed to devils by being burned alive and lynched and hung on trees. We sacrificed our own children in the land, but another people sacrificed our children. Suited us up and sent us out into the military to be sacrificed in bombs and explosions in warfare. That's another lesson too. Now, let me get back. So he said, and in plagues and in disease forever. So he says that this is what happened. He said, let me back up again because somebody lost the thought, the theme of what I'm saying, what I'm reading. He says, but on the day of turbulence and execration and indignation, this is verse 10 of the 36th chapter of the book of Jubilees. But on the day of turbulence and execration and indignation and anger with flaming devouring fire as he burnt Sodom, so likewise will he burn his land and the city and all that is his, and he shall be blotted out of the book of the discipline of the children of men, and not be recorded in the book of life, but in that which is appointed to destruction. And he shall depart into external execration, so that their condemnation may be always renewed in hate, and in execration, and in wrath, and in torment, and in indignation, and in plagues, and in disease forever. He said, I say and testify to you, my sons, according to judgment which shall come upon the man who wishes to injure his brother. You see? So just a desire to injure. Right? I mean, Most High, that's his business. He has the privilege. He reserved the right to be what? To be the one that hates sin and to hate a person and to hate an individual, to hate whatever. He deserves that right, not us. Right? We're supposed to, that's what the Messiah said. He said, but y'all don't like to read that because, oh, that's going to bring humility in your heart. He says, pray for those that despitefully use you. Right? That's the 5th chapter of Matif Yahu. He said, pray for them. Right? He said, you've heard it said in time of old, eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. He said, but I say to you, love your enemies. Pray for them that despitefully use you. But no, you got an indication. You got a vindication. You got venge, wrath, hatred in your heart, because why? You inherited it from the oath that was formed between Esau, Jacob, and the father, Isaac. Now, let's continue. Verse 12, Book of Jubilees, chapter 36, verse 12. He says, and he divided all the possession between the two on that day, and he gave the larger portion of him that was the firstborn, and the tower and all that was about it, and all Abraham possessed at the well of the oath. And he said, this larger portion I will give to the firstborn. And Esau said, I have sold to Jacob and given my birthright to Jacob, to let it be to him. Let it be, he says, let it be given. Now we're in verse 15 of chapter 36 of the Book of Jubilees. He says, and I have not a single word to say regarding it, for it is his. And Esau said, may a blessing rest upon you, my sons, and upon your seed, right? This day, for you have given me rest, and my heart is not pained concerning the birthright, lest thou should work wickedness on account of it. He says, may the Most High Yah bless the man that worketh righteousness. He says it again. May the Most High bless the man that worketh righteousness, right? He says it again. Bless the man that worketh righteousness, right? And he says, may the Most High bless the man that worketh righteousness. Okay. And back up. He said, may the Most High bless him that worketh righteousness, and his seed forever. And he ended commanding them and blessed them, and they ate and drank together before him, right? And he rejoiced because there was one mind between them, and they went forth from him and rested that day and slept. And Esau slept on his bed that day rejoicing, and he slept the eternal sleep and died 180 years old, right? He completed 25 weeks and 5 years, and his two sons, Esau and Jacob, buried him, right? Esau went to the land of Edom, right? To the mountains of Seir. Now, that answers a question in Obadiah chapter 1, which you haven't gotten to yet, but that dwelled in the cleft of the rocks, right? It's talking about the land that Esau went and migrated to, the land that he moved into, okay? Now, my nose is not reading number. Okay, I think it's the hair going in my nose. Let me drop this camera down a little bit. Okay, that's better now. Beard's not falling on now. All right, now let's get back. Okay, now. So we're in Book of Jubilees, chapter 36, verse 18. And Esau slept on his bed the day, rejoicing, and slept the eternal sleep, and died 180 years old. He completed 25 weeks and 5 years, and his two sons Esau and Jacob buried him. And Esau went to the land of Edom, the mountains of Seir, to the mountains of Seir. That's where he went, the mountains, not the caves, the Caucasus Mountains. That's a philosophy. Israel, having gone to Israel myself, seeing the land of Jerusalem, it's mountains all around Jerusalem. Matter of fact, Jerusalem is built right on a mountain. So you don't have to go to the Caucasus Mountains to see mountains. There's mountains all over Israel, all over Jerusalem. You go down to what the world calls the Dead Sea. You got mountains there. You go south, where Beersheba is, where Dawid native lands is. You got mountains down there. So when you talk about the mountains of Esau, you're not talking about the caves of Caucasus Mountains. You're talking about the Mount of Seir. And he dwelt there. Verse 20. Jubilees chapter 36, Book of Jubilees chapter 36, verse 20. And Jacob dwelt in the mountains of Hebron. See, even Jacob dwelt in the mountains of Hebron. Just told you, just what I just said. The land where Dawid came from, Hebron, is mountainous. Mountains of Hebron, the lower to the tower of the land of the sojournings of his father Abraham. And he worshipped Yahweh with all his heart and according to his visible commands, according as he had divided the days of his generation. And Leah his wife died in the 4th year of the second week of the 45th Jubilee. And he buried her in the double cave. So you want to use a Geico commercial and use the 8-man, the caveman said that's Esau. He buried his wife in a cave. See, some of this teaching that y'all teach don't make no sense. Caves all in Israel. The Dead Sea Scrolls was found in the cave. You don't have to go to Caucasus Mountains to see a cave. I don't understand. Let me get back. Buried her in a double cave near Rebekah, his mother, to the left of the grave of Sariah. As a matter of fact, when I was in Jerusalem, the prophet Zechariah was buried in a cave. And Shlomo. I saw it. I didn't put the video. I can't let nobody see it yet. I haven't edited it, but it's been a few years ago. But I blew my shofar right in front of that tomb, right in front of that cave. But Zechariah was buried, and King Shlomo was buried right there in Jerusalem in a cave, in the city of David. Let me get back. Okay, now. It says, and his father's mother and all the sons came to mourn over Leah, his wife, with him to comfort him regarding her. For he was lamenting for her. He loved her exceedingly after Rachel, her sister, died. For she was perfect and upright in all her ways, and honored Jacob in all the days that she lived with him. He did not hear from her a harsh word. Some sisters need to take a look at that right there. He didn't hear from her all the days of his life. It says he did not hear from her a harsh word. So that's kind of deep right there. He didn't hear a harsh word from her, meaning that she didn't like everything he did, but she didn't hear a harsh word from her. Man, that's a character to have, wouldn't you say? Let me get back. For she was gentle and peaceable and upright and honorable. And he remembered all the deeds which she had done during her life, and he lamented her exceeding, for he loved her with all his heart and with all his soul. But that's a lesson, and that's another lesson. I'm gonna keep moving because somebody's gonna think that I'm trying to get off on another subject. So let's keep moving. Now, Book of Jubilees, chapter 37. And on the day that Isaac, the father of Jacob, and Esau died, the sons of Esau heard that Esau had given portions of the elder to his younger son Jacob, and they were very angry. And they strove with their father, saying, Why has our father given Jacob a portion of the elder and passed over thee, although thou art the elder of Jacob? Although thou art the although thou art the elder and Jacob the younger. And he said unto him, Because I sold my birthright to Jacob for a small mess of lentils. See that? He didn't sell. It says right here in the Book of Jubilees, he sold his birthright for lentils, not for red meat. I mean, you guys jump all kinds of philosophies and say, he ate uncooked meat. I mean, come on. What book are you reading from? We reading out of the same Bible. Even the Bible don't say nothing about Esau sold his birthright for uncooked meat. First, he's an Israelite. He would have never eaten uncooked meat. And Yaakov wouldn't have presented no uncooked meat to his father no kind of way. And then y'all say, well, he was impatient. That's a spirit. White people got impatient spirit. Man, come on. Y'all philosophy is sickening and disgusting. Okay. He said he sold for a mess of lentils. Now, without even going into anything extracurricular, have you ever heard of lentil soup? That's some good soup too. I want some right now. I'm getting hungry for it. But lentil soup, that's what he sold. He sold his birthright for some soup. Right? And on the day of my father sent me to hunt and catch and bring him something that he should eat and bless me. He came with guile and brought my father food and drink, and my father blessed him and put me under his hand. And now our father has caused us to swear, me and him, that we shall not mutually desire evil, either against his brother, and what we shall continue in love and in peace, each with his brother, and not make our ways corrupt. And they said unto him, now, this is what Esau's son said to Esau at his deathbed, right? We shall not hearken unto thee to make peace with him, for our strength is greater than his strength, and we are more powerful than he, and we shall go against him and slay him and destroy him and his sons, and if thou wilt not go with us, we will hurt you too. I told the father, if you don't go with us, we're going to hurt you too. That sounds like some Hebrews that get mad at those of us who don't teach that Esau is a white man, all the hatred, and they ready to hurt us. We're going to take you out because you a sellout. You getting paid. You sound real stupid, though, brain. Getting paid, right? Where's the money at? I wouldn't be up here on YouTube doing videos if I was getting paid. I'd be doing motion pictures. And I wouldn't be bothered with no stiff-necked Hebrews, that's for sure. I would just do motion pictures behind the scenes. and get paid. Not on YouTube or Facebook or any other internet group. Getting paid. That's the weakest cop I ever heard. He getting paid. That's why he getting paid. Let me get back because I got to finish the Jubilees. All right, now. He says the son said that we're going to destroy you also if you don't come with us, right? And now hearkening to us. And is this the son's telling the father this? Listen to us, right? And let us send to Aram, and to Philistia, right? Now, he said, let us send to Aram. Aram, listen, this is going to show you some stuff in here that's going to bust up some of that false theology. Because this book of Psalms tells us what happened here, right? But here he says, let us send to Aram and to Philistia. Now, Aram, right? Now, just for the sake of it, right? Keep your finger there, okay? He said, let us send to Aram. So, who is Aram? All right. Now, who is Aram? Would you like to know? All right, now. All right. Aram is, and the answer is, okay. Are you ready? You're not ready for this. Y'all not ready. Y'all are not ready for this. Are you ready? You want to know who Aram is? Syria. Syria. Okay? Now, remember that name we come back because we're going to show you some stuff there. Right? We're going to show you some stuff right out the book. We don't have to go nowhere else. Only thing I've used right now is the book of Jubilees to just kind of confirm some things that we've already read in the scriptures, right? Now, let's go back to Jubilees. All right, chapter 37. All right. Jubilees, chapter 37. He said, let us go to Aram, right? And Philistia. Okay. Now, who is Philistia? Who's Philistia? Would you like to know? Do you really want to know? Who's Philistia? All right, now, if we go to Genesis chapter 10, I'm going to go to the computerized version of the Bible. So if you think that it's a weak tool because I'm going to it because it saved me time, then that's your personal problem. But now, Genesis chapter 10, and at the table of nations, right? If we go to the 10th chapter, and we go to the 14th verse, it tells us that, it says that, let me back up a little bit, just a little bit. It says, if we go up to verse 6, it says, the sons of Ham are Cush, Mizraim, Phut, and Canaan. Now we go down, right? Skip past Cush, we go all the way down to verse 13. It says, Mizraim begat Ludim, and Amim, Lahabim, and Pathusim, Kalushim, out of whom came the Philistine, right? Or the Philistines. Now, I shared in another video, who the king that we have problems most with? The Philistines, right? That's who he had problems with. Remember, he had to kill Goliath, the giant, the Philistine. Now, these are people that Esau became confederate with. So we got Philistine, Moab, Ammon, and let us choose for ourselves chosen men who are ardent for battle, and let us go against him to do battle with him, and let us exterminate him from the earth before he grows strong. All right, now, if we go to Psalms chapter 83, right? And if we look at verse, I'm sorry, let me correct myself. I think it's 83. I think I pushed the wrong verse here. Yeah, 83 and verse, it says, verse 5, 83:5, for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, Ishmaelites, Moab, Hagarites, Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Right? Now, we're going to deal with that. We're going to deal with that a little bit, but Tyre and Asher, we see here, right? These people that the Edomites came in a covenant agreement with, because why? He wanted to come back and to destroy his brother Yaakov. So much of what we read in Obadiah, the first chapter, has already been fulfilled. Now, if we go back, and it says, now look, hearken to us, let us send to Aram, Philistia, Moab, Ammon, and let us choose for ourselves chosen men who are ardent for battle, and let us go against him to do battle with him, and let us exterminate him from the face of the earth before he grows strong. Now, verse 7. And after the father said unto them, do not go and do not make war with them, lest ye fall before him. And they said unto him, this too is exactly the mode of action from thy youth until this day, and thou art putting thy neck under his yoke. We shall not hearken to these words. And they sent Aram and Adoram to the friend and to their fathers, and they hired along with them 1,000 fighting men, chosen men of war, and there came to them from Moab and from the children of Ammon those who were hired 1,000 chosen men, and from Philistia 1,000 chosen men of war, and from Edom and from Horites 1,000 chosen fighting men, and from Kittim, underline Kittim, because Kittim in the book of Jasher, the 90th chapter, those are the people that conquered the Edomites, killed off the males, and took their wives. In the 90th chapter, the book of Jasher. And I presented that in another lesson. But if you go to the 90th chapter of the book of Jasher, you'll see that. Okay, let's do that. Well, since I mentioned that, right? Let's do that. Okay, let's go to the book of Jasher. Go to the book of Jasher. The book of Jasher. Jasher. You can look for it on the internet, and you can download the PDF format of it, or you can go, if you got the money, if you're rich enough, like these brothers that talk all this trash about them having hard copies, go to the bookstore and buy it. Okay, but you can get the book of Jasher, right? Or you can get it for free. I choose free. I like free better. Free's better for me. Okay, now if you go to the book of Jasher, right, the 90th chapter. Okay. And we're going to start right at verse 1, right? Book of Jasher, chapter 90. At that time, in the 5th year, the children of Israel had passed over Jordan, after the children of Israel had rested from their war with the Canaanites, right? Now, this happened after Esau's death. How do we know? Because it says after they had rest from the wars of the Canaanites. Okay? Now, at that time, great and severe battles arose between Edom and the children of Chittim.